Happy Tuesday night, and welcome back to another live episode of Season Sunflower Hour. We are so happy that you are spending your Tuesday night with us. And as always, if you are new to the show, welcome. Welcome to the Sunflower Hour family. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you never miss a notification and you never miss one of our live shows with all of our incredible guests. And you know what? If you're back, thank you so much for being a part of our family and for continuing to come back week after week to enjoy and all of our excitement here. And same goes for you guys. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that like button, follow button, all the buttons. Make sure you do that now. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate you. Now, as always, we have another great show tonight with two more dynamic, incredible women. But you know what's coming up first. Before we get to that, we're going to let you in on a couple things we have coming up for the ALS Association's Greater Chicago chapter, because we always have phenomenal things happening, and I don't want you guys to miss out on any of them. So September 7th, that is just around the corner. We're going to blink and it's already going to be here. We have the ALS Classic coming up. That is so amazing. It is so much fun. And if you guys have tuned into past episodes, you've heard people talk about what an experience it is. And it's like no other golf outing that you've ever experienced. I can promise you that. I do believe, Sam will correct me if I'm wrong. Are there still opportunities, Sam, for people to sign up as a foursome? There are. So you still have time. You can sign up if you do want to still play. I think she'll put the link is already up in the comment section if you do want to get in on that. Like I said, it's a day like no other. You're out on one of the most historic, incredible golf courses where some of the PGA pros themselves, even Tiger Woods, I believe, has played on this field. And not only do you have a great day of playing golf for a great cause, but there's all kinds of fun little games and prizes throughout the day, different things happening on different holes. There are 2 party areas happening. We have incredible bars, do shots. Sometimes there are even margarita trucks. You don't even know what's going to happen out there, but I promise you it's going to be incredible. There's lunch, and then after the fact, we have an incredible after party with live music, tons of live auctions, all kinds of incredible things. So link is up there if you want to participate. And if you don't want to golf, you can come out and volunteer. You can come out to just the after party at the end. So many options. Click that link to find out all the info that you need. Also, you guys have heard me say it millions of times because it's the best time of the year. It is Walk to Defeat ALS season. We are not finished yet. We still have 2 more walks coming up in Peoria on September 10th. And Champaign on September 17th. Sam put the link up in the comments as well, so you can jump in. If you want to walk, you can still sign up. You can still create a walk team, or you can join someone else's walk team. There's so many possibilities. You can, again, come out and volunteer, come out and experience. So many options of things to do. Check that link out. But 2 more walks coming up in September. And actually later tonight in the show, you're going to hear from one of the walk team captains herself, who will be walking in Peoria in September. And also, what else is coming up? Oh, guys, we have, if you watched last episode, Carrie Ricky, you've seen her on the show multiple times. She lost her husband this past December to ALS. And as one of the incredible ways to honor him, because he was an avid golf lover, this will be the first inaugural Golf to Defeat ALS Swing for Mike and Ron. That golf outing is happening on September 29th. You can still get in on this. I don't think we have the link at the moment, but you can message us. We will get you the link. We'll get you all of the info. Oh, Sam truly is the best of the best. I can't say it enough. She did have that link. Why would I doubt for a second? That link is up if you want to register. Same thing goes for that. You can register. You can have a foursome. You can join someone else's foursome, volunteer, sponsor, donate. So many options. And Carrie has been so generous that all of the proceeds from the golf outing are being donated in Mike and Ron's name to our chapter. So you want to check them out as well. And we have a couple more things coming out, but I'm going to save a little bit of that to talk about with the first guest. I get so excited when she wants to be in front of the camera, first of all, because you hear me talk about her every single show. Sam, extraordinaire, producer. This girl is the best of the best at everything she does. I do not know how she does it. I am always in awe of her. And I am understating that. I am so impressed by her. I want to be Sam when I grow up because she is that awesome. And the ALS Association, I know they feel the same way. We've been so lucky to have her for so many years. She's the fundraising and marketing manager. And my favorite of all of her titles, she is this show's producer. She keeps everything moving. She's the best of the best. So please welcome Sam. Sam, you have to bring yourself in. That's how we do it around here. Oh, Sam. Well,
Hi. Thanks
so
for
I
having
love that
me.
we get to do this. Are you kidding? Thanks for coming on and hanging out. So everyone watching, this is really fun. This is exciting. So Sam's popping on because we decided to just do something fun. It's summer. We're just loving life. So you and I are going to be making some cards for our incredible donors. And I do want to say something about that real quick because the whole lifeline of this chapter is, and you can chime in at any point on this too, the whole lifeline of this is through donations, through sponsors, through everyone that stands behind and is helping donate to continue funding the research, to continue taking care of all the individuals throughout basically Illinois, parts of Wisconsin, parts of Indiana, everyone that you guys serve. All of the services are free of charge, and that can only happen through donations. So we love our donors. We
Absolutely.
appreciate our donors, and
ALS
we
is
can't
such
thank
an
them enough.
expensive disease, and it can be so, the experience can be so varying. People can,
Mhm.
it affects people so differently that everybody's journey is so different. It's rare, so many people are still learning about what the disease is when they receive a diagnosis. We just need to make this journey as easy as possible because it is such a difficult, unimaginable 2, 5, 10 years, however long that
Yeah.
people are fighting for. So there is no cure right now, but we need to make sure that we're providing for those who are going through an ALS journey, as well as looking into the future so that we can work to end this disease so nobody ever has to go through it again.
So perfectly put. And it costs hundreds of thousands. We're not even just talking hundreds a month, hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, right? To live with ALS. And
Yeah,
those numbers are just going to go up.
yeah. I think they estimated that it's like 250,000 a year. It's absurd. I mean, it's just so expensive. So that's why we want to make as many, not shortcuts, but as many resources available. Kind of help
Yeah.
pave that journey with our care services coordinators, who are experts not only in ALS but ALS in the region that they serve, so that they can kind of help people get from A to B as quickly as
Yeah.
possible, so that they can spend time being with their loved ones, doing what's important to them during their journey.
Exactly. And that is the common theme of everyone I talk to on the show, outside of the show, everyone I've met that's ever used services from your group, ever worked with the chapter, they just praise you guys because you're doing exactly that. You're taking away a lot of the burdens off their shoulders. You're providing services. You're making their lives easier so that they can focus on the important things. And that's making the best of the time they have with their loved ones and just focusing on the positive in this journey. You guys are giving that to so many people. It's huge.
It's so hard. Well, and Gemma just commented, "We love you, Sam." Thank you, Gemma. We love you too, and we love Gemma's one of our amazing care services coordinators. So she's the one making this magic happen, and making these shortcuts and these
Yeah.
helping people understand so that they can focus on what's great in life. So yeah.
It's true. And I love it. Oh, my family's in the house. Hello, everybody. I love seeing that. My mom chimes in, my dad chimes in. Grandma hasn't chimed in yet, but I know she's coming. I love it. Thank you, family, for supporting us. No, so the point of all this is our donors are so important to us because this is what keeps this train moving. This is what helps so many people, and your donations are truly valuable because all these things that Sam was talking about, it's because of you guys. So we thought it's a certain special time that we should make them some thank you cards. So we're going to explore with this, take you guys on a little adventure. We just thought, what the heck? Let's just have some fun with this. So Sam and I, first of all, I'm not artistic. I don't know if you are, Sam. Are you artistic?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to find out. We'll find out.
We'll see what
So
happens.
we are going to make some thank you cards, but we can't make it too easy on ourselves because why would we ever do that, Sam? So while we are going to be creating and making cards, we thought it'd be fun to just answer some super random silly questions. So the tables are going to turn a little bit. Sam's going to run the question portion of this, and we're just going to get to know each other better. And you know what? You guys watching just get to be along for the ride for this craziness.
Deal.
So sit back and enjoy.
All right. So I'm going to add in our little workstations here. Oh, look at that. That looks nice. And
Love
then,
it.
okay, if you hear my doorbell go off, remember, I'll be right back.
It's true. So Sam, I'm not going to bust out too many secrets in case adoring fans want to come find you, because they might. So Sam lives in the city, and we just had this whole conversation before this show started live about how do you grocery shop? So actually, if you're watching, how do you grocery shop? Because I find it funny that we live in a time right now where there are options on how you grocery shop. Do you actually go to the store? Do you old school drive to the grocery store, do your shopping, and drive yourself home? Or do you take advantage of these? I think, Sam, you're using Postmates. Is that a thing?
Instacart.
Instacart. Do you do delivery? How do you do this? Do you send someone else out? What a way to live. Do you have someone that does that for you? What are your grocery ways? Gemma, I'm with you, girl. Gemma still goes to the store. I like that. I'm old school. I want to go. I want to see it. I mean, how do you tell somebody I want some fruit or some veggies? They're not going to pick out the fruit the way you're going to pick the fruit out, or the chicken. Who else stands in the aisle and looks at and decides, do I want to spend 50 cents more on this many ounces more of chicken? Do I really need this much ground beef? These are vital decisions in your life.
I'm taking advantage of it. We have the opportunity to get it delivered. I can, get more done on my list. That's how I see it, but I get it. It's good to have the options. Okay,
that's
so
a smart way to do it.
Yes. I'm always talking about with walk teams, one of the a suggestion is handmade cards, either for asking for donations or when you're doing your thank yous. We love sending out thank yous. It's just so nice to have that special touch. So that's what I'm gonna be. I've got my little stack here. I'm gonna be doing some for the theme this year. Do you remember what the theme is for the walk season this year? Season this year, season.
I feel like I know this, but I'm going to blame it on I'm on camera and I can't for the life of me tell you what it is.
It's okay. It is.
What is it?
Sunflower Field of Dreams.
I knew that. Yes. We just talked about the movie last night.
Yes, we did.
Sunflower Field of Dreams. I fail. I am fired as the host.
So it's a combination of two special elements. I gotta remember to work as we go, but make it thematic. Okay, make your card thematic. Yeah. Let's see what happens.
Dun, dun, dun.
So the chapter icon is the sunflower, and there's a really beautiful quote that I'll pull up so I don't butcher it. But there's a woman who lived, I believe, on the East Coast who was living with ALS, and she kind of campaigned to make the sunflower theme for ALS because they grow together. They're such a bright symbol of hope. And we just love that. So that is our chapter symbol. Clearly, we've got sunflower hour here. You've got sunflowers behind you now. And then we've also got the connection with baseball through Lou Gehrig. So Lou Gehrig was diagnosed in 1939. And he was kind enough to lend his name to the disease and started getting awareness spread, which, clearly we still need today. So yeah. What do you have layers going on your card?
I have layers. So before you said that, I was going to make a 3D. I was going to do a 3D heart because that's pretty simple. I can't screw that up. But then you hit me with make it thematic. So now I'm going to try to make a sunflower, cut it out, and give it a little 3D, pizzazz.
I love it. Okay, let's see.
This could flop in my face, but I love how you right now are hurting everyone with some knowledge. Do you remember the story behind how she campaigned and got the sunflower? Because I just love this. I want you to tell people.
That was before my time. I really only know, that I think she worked in sales, retail. Okay. But yeah, I'll pull up the quote later when I don't have my hands full.
Yeah. Because I love her reasoning behind. Sam and I think we're trying to do too many things at this moment, but it's really beautiful when she breaks it down and explains exactly why the sunflower is the perfect symbol for this, because it really does encompass, everything, our individuals and the chapter, and it just encompasses ALS and the fight that they're going through so perfectly well.
Let's see. Susan, I need you to tell a story so I can like map out what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Or I distract you. No, I would never. So let's test my ability to talk and draw at the same time.
Okay, let's see.
Well, we've all seen me attempt to do a sunflower on a show before, and it went horribly wrong. So me talking is not going to in any way ruin.
Okay, how about this? So we talked a little thematic. We'll do a random question, then we can go back.
Yeah.
If you could choose to have any useless superpower, what would you pick?
Oh God, this is such a hard question because, there's so many. There's so many superpowers I would like. I feel like I would bypass the given flying, things like that. I would want the power for my brain to be able to make anything I wanted come true. I don't think that's a superpower, but I'm going to call it a
That
superpower.
useless though. That would be so useful.
It has to be useless?
Yeah, any useless superpower. But I feel like anything, if you're creative, you can make anything.
It's going to be useful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every superpower I can think of is useful. I was going to say like a rewind button, but that's also useful.
What about being able to sleep, like fall asleep immediately?
Well, most of the time I already can do that. So that superpower would not help me.
That's one I'll choose. Okay.
That's a good one though. That's a good one. So you cannot sleep anywhere at any time?
No.
Okay. Well, my dad's watching. I got to give it to him. I think I get that from him because that man can sleep anywhere, through anything, on anything, at any time. My dad says, how about the power to cure? Dad, you were not listening. We're looking for useless superpowers. That would be a very useful superpower. You made the same mistake I did. See, I get it from my dad.
Everything could be helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. I think you've talked a little bit about how you got involved with the chapter, but can we get like just the quick bit?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one because how am I going to draw through this? Yeah. So the quick version, the longer version is this very thematic, like incredible story. But yes, let me give you the quick rundown. So back in the day, like most people, I had no idea what ALS was. I heard the name, but I didn't actually know what it meant. And my boyfriend at the time, who I give him all the credit for getting me involved with ALS, he had a friend. They were really close in school. They were part of this friend group, and they grew up. They went on with their lives like most people do, sort of lost touch. And in his 30s, he was diagnosed with ALS. And this friend group, like nothing I've ever seen before, came together and supported him in every possible way. This man, his name was Frank. He married his high school sweetheart. The burden of this disease was too much, and she left. But not only did she leave, but she left taking everything they owned, his handicap accessible van, the food out of the fridge, everything but his body sitting in the chair. So he even took the TV he was watching. And so this group of friends came back together and stepped up and 100% took care of him. Wow. He was a prison guard, and ALS, like most people dealing with this, was not covered under his insurance. And he wasn't working anymore. The onset was incredibly quick. So they were doing a fundraiser to raise money to help him. And, is your delivery here? I love it. Sam's groceries have arrived, everyone. So they were doing a fundraiser, and we decided we were going to go and help out. And again, I knew nothing about ALS, nothing. And I got there, and seeing these friends, hearing them talk about him, hearing them explain what this disease was, it just took me back. And it made me think, wow, I don't know outside of my family that I have anyone in my life that would step up for me the way that this group of friends had stepped up for Frank. They created Friends for Frank, and they were just, oh goodness. It's okay. We have all kinds of craziness happening here. That's what happens with live TV, everyone. So the seeing the bond and seeing everything that they were doing for him was beyond inspiring. I had to meet him. I met him, and about 5 seconds in, I don't even think it took me that long, I realized what a special human being he was. And that was it for me. I came back and decided I need to know everything I can about ALS. What can we do? How do we solve this? How do we cure him? How do we put an end to this? And then the discovery was, it hit me right in the face that there is no cure. There is no saving Frank. There is no option for this. So now what can we do? And his joy for life, his positive attitude despite all of this was so inspirational. He lost everything he had, and it was still his driving force to raise money to donate to the ALS Association, to the chapter where he was. And I don't know, it was just this courage and this light that I had never, ever seen in a human being before. And it just draws you in. And I fell in love with him. He inspired me. And that was it. That was my journey. And I came into contact with the ALS Association. And, oh, hi, Kevin. And that was it. I met you guys. And from that moment on, that was 2009. That's how long ago it was. This journey started on my side of it. This journey for me started for Frank. And Frank lost his battle in 2010. And this journey has continued for me for Frank. And gosh, I just know he'd be so proud at everything that's being done, everything the chapter's accomplishing. So I continue to do that for him. But he rocks. And he had this really cool phrase. Oh, yeah. The important part, you guys, because you hear me say it all the time. So he called it big fat love. When he was young, he always had this phrase, and it would just be when you'd see someone doing something kind for someone and never getting anything in return, he would call it big fat love. And he'd see people opening the door or, paying the person's bill behind you, whatever it may be. And he would say, wow, look at that big fat love. And he'd have stones. He'd find stones on the beach and have them sandblasted with the phrase, big fat love, and he'd hand them out to kind strangers that he'd see spreading big fat love. And it was just the symbol of hope and happiness and kindness and just the power that we have to make a difference in so many people's lives simply by being kind. It's super amazing. So when he was sick, they started selling merchandise with big fat love on it, and it sort of became a thing, and it morphed into this thing larger than life. They had this website called Friends for Frank, and with the big fat love theme, people from all over the world, countries all around the world, would find out about this and had never met Frank in person, but they were so inspired by his story, they would send messages, and every single day his caregivers would read the messages to Frank, and it meant the world to him, knowing that this message was inspiring just love and kindness all around the world to people he never met. It was really cool. And myself, I would be in places, random states, random places around the world, and I would see big fat love on a bathroom stall or big fat love written in chalk on the sidewalk. It spanned the world. It was really beautiful to see. So,
man, that's wild.
Everybody, think about big fat love in your life, and let's spread more of that.
We're coming up already. This went by really fast. So we're already at 7:25. What? And you've got time. Yep, you've got some plugs to do before the next guest is on.
Actually, I just talked for a really long time. I am falling behind on my card, but look,
that's okay. You can post
here's my 3D. Yeah, here's my 3D flower.
I can't wait to see it.
It's sunflower-ish, kind of.
It looks like a good sunflower. You can post a photo later this week and show us what
I love it. But before we go, Sam, I'm going to take another second to work on this. But you tell us about the other couple things we have coming up in October between the two. Yeah, tell us about that.
Okay, so after walks, I'm biased. I am super excited for walk season, so I can't see past September right now. So if anybody wants to join, there's still time to join. We've got a walk in Peoria on September 10th and a walk in Champaign on September 17th. But if you can't make those walks, or if you are out of the area or out of that region, you can do a mini walk to defeat ALS from anywhere. So we've got supply boxes. Just let me know, okay? But after that, in October, we have two amazing races coming up. So on October 9th is this year's Chicago Marathon, and we have the largest team ALS ever. So it's one of the largest Run to Defeat ALS events in the country anyways. And now we've got the biggest team ever. And Sarah does an amazing job coordinating with these runners, helping them with their training, getting them all the resources they need. And while the team is full for this year, we do have volunteer slots available. So if you would like to volunteer for the Run to Defeat ALS marathon, I will put the Julie's email in the chat so you can reach out. But if you have any questions, you can always let us know. And then the weekend after that is a really fun race coming up that we still have either registrations or volunteer slots available for. So that is called the Country Soul Run. And there are multiple distances you can run. I think there's like a walk, there's a mile run, a 5K, and a 10K maybe. Don't take my word for that. I'll put it in the chat. So there's different distances. This one's also located in Chicago. This one's along the lakefront. And like I said, we've got volunteer slots and registration is still open. So group registration or group volunteer positions or single, whatever you want, if you and a group of friends want to participate. And then after the run, they're doing pulled pork sliders and like a beer too. And then they're going to have live country music. So it's going to be a good time.
You had me sold on the pulled pork sliders and live country music.
Well, and we're the official charity sponsor, so we definitely want to show up. We want to show up big and support the runners who are going to make this run happen. It's going to be fun. So as soon as I get off, I'll put the links up. And
I love that.
We'll have a reveal.
If you finish your card, we can have the reveal at the end. I think yours is going to look incredible.
I'll get it done. We'll see.
That's because you and I are perfectionists. But if you guys are watching, if you have any desire, if you're an arts and crafts kind of person, if you love doing this kind of stuff, please feel free. We would love to have you make cards as well. I'm sure Sam would welcome that we can send out to our donors to show them how much we love and appreciate them. So
absolutely.
Reach out to us if you want to get involved with that.
Awesome. Well, I think it's about time for me to pop back into the shadows, but thanks so much for having me. And I can't wait to hear from the next guest.
Absolutely. Sam, this did go by too fast. So we need to bring this back. If you guys are watching and you enjoyed this, let us know so we can bring Sam back for some more crafting and random facts time.
Yeah. All right.
Sam, you're the best. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. I really love her so much. And she is such a behind the cameras person. So I do love it when we get to turn the camera on her and bring her, because you guys should get to know her. She's so incredible. And the work that she does along with everyone at the chapter is just so incredibly amazing. And speaking of amazing, our next guest is amazing. I love this girl. We chatted away and I feel like we've known each other for life. So my next guest is a passionate educator. She has spent her career teaching nobly and educating our youth. Now, thanks to a blessed and busy life, Candy has taken on many roles, some which include being an educator, a daughter, a sister, a wife, and a mother. Now, one role that she never imagined stepping into was that of an ALS caregiver. In 2018, Candy's mother, Barb, was diagnosed with ALS. This diagnosis shook the family to its core. Barb was the glue that held them all together. She was the one that always put everyone else's needs before her own. And she was the one that always had a stash of Reese's peanut butter cups and ice cream waiting for you. Now, Barb lost her battle with ALS just 5 months after diagnosis. In the midst of all of that heartbreak, Candy knew that she had to continue ALS advocacy in honor of her mom. So here to share her story, please welcome Candy Robosky. Hello, Candy. How are you?
Hi.
Oh, I am so glad that you are joining us. And I have to tell everybody watching that this is the dedicated advocate that you are. You are a teacher. You had parent-teacher conferences tonight, so you have been working, and there was no way this was going to stop you. You said, I don't care. I will do this in my classroom. I will do this from my car if I have to. You were just not going to miss this show, and we love you so much for that. So thank you for.
Yep, I'm still in my classroom.
I love it. And you know what? I love a good sunflower theme. So I love your dress. I love your dress. I love your earrings. You just look fabulous. Well, let's
Thank
dive
you.
into this because I know that you have so many things, so many great stories to share with us tonight. So, first of all, we talked about your mom. Tell us about your mom. Tell us about the fabulous Barbara Green.
My mom was one of 14 kids, and there were 7 boys, 7 girls. So they were evenly distributed. She was dead center. And she always made sure that anytime somebody needed her, we figured out a way to get her there, and so that she could be there for them, whether it was a wedding, funeral, baby, whatever. And as kids, my brother and I, she always made sure she had whatever we needed, and she always had a smile. Um, uh, like you said, the Reese's peanut butter cups, ice cream, whatever we wanted. She made sure that she made special meals for everybody because, nobody could do without. So, and she always had an infectious
I
smile.
love that you told me that story.
Yeah,
That she, when dinner would come around, everybody had different dietary restrictions or likes and dislikes or things they were allergic to. So she would make separate meals for every single person.
yeah. When she would make meatloaf, they would have the little itty bitty containers, little muffin tin pans, and she would make everybody their own little meatloaf. Because my husband and my son didn't like onions. So she would make them theirs without onions. And then somebody else didn't like this or couldn't have this kind of item. So she would make their own little thing. And she didn't care even when she was first diagnosed, or before she got diagnosed. We had Easter, and I'm like, Mom, we'll just bring everything. Don't worry. Nope, 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 nope. She still got up crack of dawn and started cooking all day so that everybody could have everything for Easter. She dyed all the eggs. She made potato salad. She made 3 different types of potato salad because some people didn't like onions. Some people didn't like onions or pickles. Some people couldn't have mayonnaise, so she had to use something else. And some people liked it with the skin. Some people didn't like it with the skin. So she would do all of this stuff just so that my son liked the little Salisbury steak TV dinners. So okay, let's make the Salisbury steak TV dinners. And then I liked ham with brown sugar and pineapple. So she made that. And she made ham without all that for everybody else, and turkey and whatever, just so everybody had what everybody wanted. So she probably had more dishes out than she had room on her. Yeah, I know she did. We always had stuff piled up. We'd be like, okay, here's a little tray, and we'll put stuff underneath the tray, on top of the tray, because she made sure everybody had what they wanted. So
She's basically the
that was
superhero
just,
mom and grandma. She just had you
yeah,
covered at all times. That was the best house to be at.
yeah. Even when my dad was diagnosed with a brain tumor, so she was his caregiver. She still made sure, taking care of dad, that she had everybody else covered too. So I think she's probably the reason why I'm an educator now, and I make sure that I can figure out some way to help people, because she didn't care. Even if she went without something, she would make sure that we were taken care of.
Incredible.
So,
She's absolutely
and
incredible. Well, in 2018, and I said this in the intro, your mom was diagnosed with ALS, and it turns out it was bulbar ALS, which tends to affect the throat first. And her disease progressed very quickly. She began slurring her words in January. She got the official diagnosis in May, and then she passed away by October, all within that same year. That is a lot. So what was that year like for you guys?
it was crazy. January, we got the phone call from her, and we couldn't understand her. We assumed that she had a stroke. So we left work and rushed her to the hospital, spent the next 3 days in the hospital, and not really knowing what was going on. and she hated the hospital. So she was just like, no, I'm fine. Just let me go home. And I'm like, no, we need to find out what's going on. And the neurologist came in and he's like, how come nobody told me that she had the fasciculations of her tongue? And they're like, well, we didn't notice it. And I'm like, what does it mean? And he goes, come out in the hallway. And he told me what he thought it was. And so I started doing research. He got us into I&I clinic right away. And by March, they said, okay, we've got a couple more tests because, as you know, unfortunately with ALS, it's a diagnosis by elimination. So they did all the tests and they said, okay, now we can officially rule it out in May. And at first we didn't tell her until we had a good handle on it so that we could give her all of the information without her having, because she didn't do the internet. If we couldn't tell her, then she's like, okay, well, whatever. Okay. What'll happen will happen. Yeah. And so I made sure that I had all of the information before she got the official diagnosis so that I could walk her through everything that was going to happen. And even before her official diagnosis, I got in touch with Kelly at the support group. And
well, even that had to be a whirlwind.
And we started.
Even that had to be a whirlwind.
It was crazy.
Well, you had never known what ALS
just trying
was.
To get all of that.
Sorry, there was a delay. Go ahead.
I did the ice bucket challenge without even really understanding it. Yeah, I did the ice bucket challenge without even really understanding what ALS was. Like you had said, it's like, oh yeah, I heard of it, but okay, whatever, because you don't think it's going to happen to you. You don't think that it's going to affect your family until it does.
And I think even hearing about it sometimes is different than seeing it firsthand. Hearing there's this thing called ALS, there is no cure, you're going to die. It's one thing to hear that, but then to be up close and personal and witness what this does to not only the person dealing with it, what it does to their family, to their loved ones, to their entire community, it's a whole other level when you see this beast sort of up close and personal. So what was it like for you? Because we just said you didn't know what ALS was, and now you found yourself in this position, learning what that really means and being confronted with the harsh reality of an ALS diagnosis, finding out that diagnosis is coming for your own mom. And now you're stepping into this role as a caregiver. That's a lot falling on one person's shoulders at one time. What was it like to find yourself in the position dealing with all of these things?
Probably the worst part was, as when you and I had talked, we talked about, my mom loved her music. And so she was always singing and dancing around the house. And ALS took her voice very quickly. She became very, very hard to understand. And so she still danced and tried to sing, but just seeing that happen over such a short amount of time. And I do count myself lucky because being a teacher, I was off during the summer. So I was able to, we only had a few weeks after her diagnosis until I was off for the rest of the summer. So I was able to devote the majority of my summer to her, making sure that she got to do all the stuff she still loved to do. We still made sure that she went to her garage sales and still went to her family and got to see them. Still took her out to Long John Silver's and A&W and all of the little places that she liked to go. We made sure, both her and I, we made each other a promise that we were going to still try to laugh as much as we could and enjoy everything that we did. So I remember one time we were in Long John Silver's and she was trying to eat. And of course, she started having trouble eating because it affected her speech and her mouth and everything. And food was just running down her mouth. And she's like, ugh, okay. And people were just looking at her like, what is your deal, woman? And we just started laughing hysterically. And I'm like, Mom, if you can't get control over your food. And she's like, well, and we just sat there and we just looked at each other and we're just like, oh, well, I guess you're wearing it home then.
Yep.
And that was just our joke. We're like, okay, well, save it for later. And we had this standing joke and it was always so funny because no matter where we went to go eat, her one meal, even if it was a kid's meal, lasted 3 or 4 meals for her. Because one thing with bulbar is it gets so hard. It takes so much energy just to eat. And so she'd get tired and she's just like, okay, I'm done.
Done.
I know I've only had 3 bites, but those 3 bites took me 15 minutes. So we're done. And I'm just like, okay, well, let's take it home and you can heat it up and we'll finish it later. And so that was just always, we're like, well, Mom, you're the cheapest date around because one meal cost us $5 and it lasts you 3 times. You're a cheap date. So we just made sure that she still got to, but it was hard seeing this energetic woman not have the energy to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
And she was going to stay in her house. And so we did. She stayed in her house where her and my father spent their last years together. And she's like, you're not getting me out of here. Don't try. And I'm like, don't worry, we won't. And I said, if I have to come over here before school, after school, whatever, we'll do it. So we did. And it was, the hardest part was just seeing that light go. Sorry.
No, this is the reality of what ALS does. And this is why it's so important what we're doing because of these moments. And the beauty of being able to find those special moments and get to laugh and get to make jokes about it. It's great to keep that positive attitude, but this is the reality. This is what's behind all of that laughter, and it sucks, and it is absolutely awful. And I don't know if you've noticed it, but people have been chiming in the comments, talking about how amazing your mom is, Gemma, and I don't know who H. Bicknell is.
That's my niece.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
that's Heather, my niece.
Oh, Heather, thank you for watching.
Yeah, Heather gave my mom 2 gorgeous great grandbabies before she died. She has a 3rd one that she never got to meet, but she got to meet her twins, and she loved those girls and loved spending time with them. And it was a blessing that she got to spend so much time with Heather and the girls. And Heather always made sure that they got to come around. So it was that. Yeah.
Well, Heather, welcome to the Sunflower family.
So,
and speaking
and
of,
everybody always commented.
Yeah. They commented.
Oh, I was just. My mom always, everybody was commented she had an infectious smile. So, and she always tried to smile even when it was getting hard. So.
I hope that's one of the many things that people can take away from the show, because again, seeing this firsthand, that's one of the most inspirational things to me, to meet all of these incredible individuals who are battling ALS with your mom's spirit, that have the biggest smile on their faces, that still have the best attitudes and just still spread love and hope and kindness despite everything they are going through. That to me is just the ultimate inspiration. I think we all need to channel a little bit more of that in our lives. Share some of that big fat love and share some of Barb's smiles and kindness to other people. That's the lesson. That's our lesson of tonight, everyone. Well, speaking of her becoming a great grandma, that sort of perfectly tees us up for let's talk about the walk because I want to hear your experience. You guys participated, and your very special name for your walk team came from her role. So tell us a little bit about that.
It actually started with her grandbabies because there was always two Barbs as grandparents. So her grandchildren started calling her Gigi. Well, then when she had the great grandbabies, we were like, well, she's no longer just Grandma Green. She's great Grandma Green. So they called her Gigi. So we decided to name her Team GGG, is what our team name was. We tossed around some other ideas. We were like, well, her initials spell bag, but then that doesn't sound very good. Say Team Bag. So we decided to go with Team GGG. And that way, it was a way that her great grandbabies could still always have a part of her. And they still, to this day, I mean, it's been 4 years. They were very, very little. They were, very little when she passed. And they still ask about GGG and still remember her, even though they were only 2 when she passed. So
beautiful.
And we just recently went out to the sunflower fields at Jubilee Park, and Heather and I went with the girls, and we took a picture of GGG, and we got our pictures taken with the sunflowers out there in all of our sunflower gloriness. We all got sunflower outfits. And, that way, even though Mom never got to see them, she was with us. So we continue.
You continue to spread it, and
So
she actually got to participate in one of the walks, right? The very first Team GGG walked with the GGG.
Yes, she made it to one. Luckily enough, it was a month before she passed, so we got to take her to one, and she had a blast. She said she wanted to go, even though she was in a wheelchair by that moment. She's like, "Yep, let's go." So we pushed her around downtown Peoria, and she got to spend time and see all the other people that she had gotten to see at the support group. So she really liked it, and it gave her a chance to be with other people that were going through some of the same stuff she was going through.
Yeah.
And so I told her that we would still continue it. And so we have. COVID took away 1 year.
Darn it. But we're back. We're back stronger than ever. And you're going to be at the walk on September 10th in Peoria with Team GGG in all of their glory. What are you most excited about for this walk?
I'm just glad that we get to go back and I get to see people again that I haven't gotten to see. Because I started a new job last year and trying to get all that, I haven't been able to go to the support groups as much as I was before. So I miss seeing everybody and just getting to see all of the family and friends and all of the support that our patients do have, and let them know that even though my mom's gone, she's still with us, so that she's still with them, and we're still fighting for them. We're not, just because my mom lost her battle, we're still fighting to help them win. And
Absolutely.
No matter what it takes, we're going to try and get as much as we can to help them. So
absolutely. And I think there's comfort in knowing that. I think there's comfort in knowing that we keep all of the memories and the stories alive of those that have lost this battle, and it's going to be one heck of a celebration in all of their honors when we're able to say, we did this. We found the cure. We found treatment that's going to slow the progression. We did this for all of them, all of the Barbs, the Franks, all of those who we've lost to this disease. Well, you mentioned support groups. So that's one of the many services that the ALS Association, our Greater Chicago chapter, provides. And again, it's all free of charge. So tell us a little bit about what was that experience like? Why was that valuable to you and to your mom, our support groups?
I went to the first support group to find out what it was and what it was like, because my mom was one, she didn't want to lean on people, and that she was going to be fine. She could handle it on her own and stuff. And I was like, nope, we need to go because we don't know anything about this. And I went and I met Kelly and so many of the other people there, and Joanne and all of them. And it was beautiful to me, being a caregiver, just to know that, okay, I'm not going to have to do this all by myself. I'm not going to have to do all the research on my own. I'm not going to have to maneuver all the red tape on my own. And they actually, Kelly and everybody, we got the AAC device right away. And she was lucky in that since I'm a special ed teacher, I've already knew a lot about AAC, but there's so many people that don't. Yeah. And the support group gets them in touch with who they need to help them maneuver the AAC devices and the wheelchairs and everything. I mean, we got started on the wheelchair. We ended up not getting it, but Kelly and everybody got us started on it right away. And just having that support. And then when my mom went, having her see other people in the group that had bulbar, and just knowing that, oh, okay, yes, it's not as common as other diseases, but it's not so uncommon that we have to do everything on our own. Yeah. And it meant so much to us to know that, okay, you know what, I'm having a bad day. Okay, I can call Kelly, or I can call Pat, or I can call Carrie and say, help. Yeah. And they knew what we were going through.
I think that's the key right there. I think that's the key, what you said. It's to be around, this is such an awful disease that, like I said, just understanding it doesn't really do it justice. And to be around a community of people that understand it, and not only understand what you're going through, but know what can help make it better, what can help ease the burden at the moment, or, just that community is just, I think, everything. I think it's everything. So with that community, I mean, you walked into the family, I always say it on the show, that you never, ever want to be a part of. But we are a family like no other. So you walked into this ALS Association family, to our Greater Chicago chapter. What has this chapter meant to you and to your family?
It's meant so much. Just, I can't even put it into words, because unfortunately, some members family, through the support group and through the ALS groups, remind you that you're not alone. Even if your own family doesn't understand it or understand how to handle it, and that it just gives you the support you need. And there was so much that even at our worst times, they gave us a reason to smile and be thankful, because we did have that support. And even when Mom passed, they came out and they were there for us. And
we're a family. We are a family, and we are in this together. And like Sam said, we're doing this so that nobody has to experience what you went through. We don't want this. We don't want this for anyone, and we're going to keep fighting. And I love that you were able to turn something so awful in your life, and you were able to turn it around and to stand up and say, okay, this is not okay, and I'm not going to stand by and let it happen. You rallied. I mean, that was one of the things I heard about you before I even talked to you on the phone. Uh, the girls in the chapter were just telling me that you are just so inspired. You are so charged up to make a difference. And that's truly turning this tragedy into triumph. You're turning this around to find a way to help other people. And that is so admirable. So this is a family. We are so happy you're a part of this family. And I love this passion you have. I love this passion you have for like putting an end to this, because that's what's going to get us there. All of this, all of this. Now, I want to ask you, I hope I'm not trying to make you cry, I promise.
it's okay. It's okay.
If they do, don't you worry. I will change the subject real quick. But two things I really want to ask you before we lose you is how has your mom, because your mom's already just hearing about her. She's an inspiring woman. She's an incredible woman. How has she inspired you as a person and as a mother?
Well, like I said, she always made sure that. I remember when I was growing up, my grandma, she had 14 kids, but she never stopped, and so my mom never stopped. And no matter what it took, she always made sure that her loved ones were taken care of. And so that's one thing I'm fierce about. Don't mess with my family, because you're going to get the bull by the horns, and I won't put up with it. Whether it be a disease or somebody coming after them or whatever. And sometimes that's comes across wrong and people have left because of it, but that's their problem, not mine.
It's okay. Mama Bear comes out. Mama Bear comes out when she needs to.
So we just, and it just, and her passion for caring for others, like I said, that was a big reason why I think I became a teacher. Because I do the same thing with my kids at school. I have students that I still keep in touch with, and it's the same thing. I'm still, when I get a cause, I'm not going to let it go, no matter what. And that's the biggest thing. She always put her family first, and she was just very caring, but she made sure she had fun, and that's just what I try to do.
I love that.
So
try to live like Barb. I like that. Have that kind of joy for life. Crank that music up. Sing at the top of your lungs. Dance until you can't stand anymore. And you know what? Put all kinds of Reese's peanut butter cups in your coffee.
Yep. Reese's peanut butter cups, ice cream, and peppermints in her coffee on top of her creamer and flavored coffee.
Oh, you had said to me on the phone that growing up like that, she sort of taught you, if you can taste the coffee in your coffee, then you're doing something wrong. Yeah, it's not right. And I'm telling you, I don't like coffee. I dislike coffee I don't even like the smell of coffee. But if you're telling me now that it's full of Reese's peanut butter cups and ice cream, I think I could get behind that. I might start having a cup of coffee in the morning if that's what it entails. So I'm going to do a coffee cheers tomorrow to Barb up there partying in heaven, jam-packed with all kinds of candy and all the good stuff I can find.
Yep.
Oh,
So,
well, if
yeah.
you guys, if anyone watching, if you guys have loved Candy as much as all of us do at the chapter, and if you want to get involved, if you want to be a part of Team GGG, I'm pretty sure they would welcome you with open arms. Candy, you would love to have some other people join the team. You can. Sam put the link up in the comment section. If you want to join their team, you're welcome. If you want to donate to the team, you absolutely can. All of that money in GGG's, in Barb's honor, will be donated to the ALS Association, to our Chicago chapter. So help them out. I think you're almost at your goal. Last time I
I am.
checked, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we even have a Facebook page.
Okay.
Um,
Tell
we have
them.
a Team GGG Walk to Defeat ALS. Just if you look at Team GGG, it'll pop up, and it's public, so anybody can join the page. We have online auctions going, and all of the money we go from there will go to our area ALS group. So
Love it.
we're trying.
I love it. So you guys visit that Facebook page, click the link in the comment section that Sam posted. That will get you all the information on how you can be a part of that team. They're so close. They're so close to reaching their goal. Let's get them there. Let's get them to the finish line and come out September 10th. Come out to the Peoria Walk so that you can meet Candy. You can meet these beautiful grandchildren and great grandchildren who are there advocating on behalf of the greatest grandma ever. Make that happen, you guys. Candy, is there anything you want to say to everybody before we take it out?
Just always remember to enjoy everything, no matter what life throws at you. Find the positive and smile and laugh and sing and dance and enjoy your ice cream and Reese's peanut butter cups in your coffee.
I love it. It's so perfectly well said. Well, we're going to end on that beautiful piece of advice from you, Candy. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you are doing. Thank you for just being such a beautiful joy and light. I know that Barb is so proud of you because you are absolutely living a life just like Barb. So thank you for everything. Oh, I didn't mean to make her cry again. That's just making me cry again. Well, you guys, we have so many amazing people in our ALS family, so many people in our incredible Sunflower Hour family. So thank you guys for joining and being a part of that. All of the links are up in the bio. Make sure you check out all the great things that we're doing. Come visit us at the walks coming up in September. Remember all of that good stuff happening. And like Candy said, just remember to be positive. We can always find the good in everything. So let's keep that attitude. And until we see you again for our next live show coming up at the beginning of September, I can't think of the date off the top of my head, but it's the first Tuesday in September. So we will see you again September 6th. I love it. So we will see you again on September 6th. And in the meantime, everyone, be bright and shine your light. See you next time.